Hello, and welcome to Xavier University. I'm Rachel Crastel. Today, we are honored to speak with Dr. Herman Najoli, who is a candidate for mayor of the city of Cincinnati. This interview is sponsored by Take It On, Xavier's nonpartisan initiative to encourage better dialogue and robust, peaceful engagement in politics. With me today are Mickey Townsend, president of the Student Government Association, and Michaela Connors, vice president of the Student Government Association. So welcome, Dr. Najoli. Thank you so much for being here with us at Xavier. And our first question is going to be from President Townsend.
Yeah, so first I just want to thank you for coming once again. I'll go ahead with my first question. So why should college students care about the mayoral race?
Well, first and foremost, this is the first time in a long time that we have an educator running for mayor. We've always had lawyers running. I am an educator. I have a doctoral degree in organizational leadership from Indiana Wesleyan University. I have a passion for students. I have also authored a few books, which have been very inspiring to my students. So you can see a couple of my books right behind me. And students particularly should be engaged in our civic discourse because they have a great role to play in the future of our communities. Many times people tell us, oh, the future belongs to us, but they don't want to relinquish those reins of truly controlling government. I'm running against individuals who've been in government for 20, 30, 40 plus years, career politicians, and I'm an outsider of local politics, just a simple educator who wants to inspire youth and to make a big difference for our community.
Yeah, definitely. And expanding on that, why should college students support your specific candidacy for mayor?
I think my candidacy is uniquely special for our city. I am the first independent, outright independent to run for mayor in a really long time. I'm running against 5 other candidates who are all Democrats. There is no Republican in the race. I am a complete outside of politics, an independent who really just believes that we can do something special. I have titled my campaign as a David versus Goliath campaign because no independent has ever been elected mayor in the history, at least the known history of our city. So I think students will benefit from looking at the platform that I have. I have been a sports coach at 3 different Catholic schools on the west side of town, St. William, St. Lawrence, and St. Catherine. I have also been a soccer coach for West End Pride down in the West End. This is a group of young kids that FC Cincinnati is trying to help develop a passion for soccer. I have a passion for youth. I volunteer at a local parish that's just, I can see it right outside my window here, right next to my house. I've served in festivals and with the PTO, with the Athletic Association. So I think my candidacy is so unique in that I truly want to make Cincinnati an educator-friendly city. I believe that educator-friendly and teacher-friendly cities are able to attract young families into the city to expand the base of the population. And they also provide a crop of individuals who will make a terrific difference in the future. I want to promote some STEM and STEAM programs in our city so that students, after they graduate, will be interested in staying in Cincinnati and not leaving the city. I've had a few individuals who graduated and then they left for greener pastures in other cities. But I think we should be a city whereby after students graduate, they choose to stay in the city and start off their careers in this city.
Yeah, most definitely. And then just like going off of that, you clearly have a passion for the youth and educating students. So my next question is, what do you think or what do you hope would be different about the city of Cincinnati by the time our first year students or seniors?
What I want to be different about this city is that I want our city to be known for character. If you've been following the local politics, we've had a few city council members who were indicted for corruption, and it has tarnished the reputation of our city. I want to have branded my campaign as a battle for the character of this city, because I want to restore good government. So students are encouraged by the atmosphere of a city where there are good leaders who have high virtue, who have great principles. And that is what I want to bring to this city. When I launched my campaign, I went downtown to the statue of Cincinnatus. Cincinnatus was a famous Roman farmer who, when Rome was invaded, he was approached and asked to lead the army to battle. He went and led the army to a big victory. Then after the victory, he relinquished power only 6 months later. So I do not want to be a career politician. I'm entering public service for the public good. I, in fact, have announced that I'm running for just one term. And I just believe that in that one term, I can be a transformational mayor, a truly once in a generation type of mayor. And hope students at Xavier will look at that whole concept of the one-term mayor on my website and truly see how I want to bring about a revolution to change the game, so that we don't always have career politicians who say the same stuff year after year and they end up being re-elected.
Yeah, thank you. Most definitely. To build on that, and you have definitely mentioned this like briefly, what will you do, or what do you think will make those freshman students who will be seniors at the time stay in Cincinnati after graduation? Have you thought about those actionable things that'll make them want to stay?
There are quite a few. One, being able to make sure that we really provide support for our educational institutions. Now, I'm fully aware that Cincinnati Public Schools controls at least the public school portion, but for students at the university level, one of the changes I want to bring into local government is to create what I call an elders council. This will be a group of recognized individuals within all of Cincinnati, some of them from the nonprofit community, the religious community, the business community, individuals who will sign up to become mentors so that they can be able to pass on insights on how to be successful in the city to, say, the freshmen who are coming in, develop relationships. I envision a day that possibly we could have a CEO of an organization choosing to develop a mentoring relationship, above the board relationship with youth who is just starting off in a college freshman year, and then working with them over the years to show them how they can be successful in the city and not have to leave the city. I think there is a gap in terms of how the generations view each other. You know, there are so many adults who are just in the business world and self-focused on their own careers, and they do not take time to pour into the youth who are many years behind and want to be able to perhaps enter into the workforce successfully. So I think this whole idea of an elders council is just one aspect of how we could help individuals. Then there are those students in campuses who have ideas for startups and for businesses that they want to launch once they've graduated, or maybe they will have a certain career or a vocation they want to pursue. I want to create an arena through which we can make those connections so that they can find the help that they need before they graduate.
Yeah, and while we're on the topic of staying in Cincinnati, and you also mentioned you wanting to be a one-time mayor, can you kind of talk to us a little more about, like, what do you think? Do you think you'll run for a second term if you don't accomplish everything your first go around? And if so, can you kind of like give us kind of like actionable plans that you might take if you don't accomplish everything, and how you would accomplish it if you were to run a second time?
Okay. I am fully focused on being a transformational mayor, which means accomplishing a whole slate of very clear ideas. I have this platform, a 28-page document, which can be downloaded from my website so that people can hold me accountable. And my concept right now is I am truly really focused on just one term. But if the city is just so successful and so moving forward and growing and thriving, and I get drafted by individuals, let's say 60% of the population just say, hey, we want you to run again, then I will run. But if I feel like I do not have the support of, say, around 60% of the population, I really should keep to that commitment of being a one-term mayor. There's another aspect of the question I'm trying to recall, which was, here's why I am really dissatisfied with individuals who continually run for office without accomplishing, life transformational things for people. For instance, one of the candidates I'm running against has been around at City Hall for 47 years. And while I appreciate a long term of service, I feel like a certain stage reaches where an individual should mentor another person. And for me, I'm a person of faith, and I get that idea from story of two prophets, where there is this one prophet who approaches another one, and they develop a mentoring relationship so that the other one can take over. So I see these individuals continually run for office, yet they have not trained anyone else or mentored anyone else to ever run with them or to teach them what they know so that the other person can run with the baton like a relay race. And I feel like public office, especially elected office, should be an office whereby there are term limits, and then as those term limits are completed, somebody even while in office, somebody should be able to approach another one and train them who is coming along and show them how they can run for that office too. So I'm dissatisfied by career politicians who continually run for themselves and they do not train others on how they can enter into public service.
That's a great segue to our final question from Vice President Connors.
Definitely. Again, I want to thank you for spending your afternoon with us. But my question would be, what advice would you give to college students who are wanting to run in local politics?
I would say, be courageous, be very strong. In my case, I'm running as an independent, which is very difficult in this city given the current business forces and community forces. But it's possible because I have what I call a David versus Goliath kind of mindset. I would say once you have an idea that this is a pursuit that you want to go for, truly begin to study in that area, study the issues in the community. For instance, I have here, community needs survey, being able to study those issues, being able to go online and view a couple of videos of city council meetings and be connected to the civil discourse. Sometimes it can get a little negative. Do not be turned away by the negativity because you want to make an impact and to make a difference. So be strong, look for the help that is needed, and in certain areas where you might not get all the help that's needed, still stand firm on what you believe are the principles you want to stand for the sake of our community.
Well, Dr. Najoli, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure to talk with you today and to hear your words of wisdom. And thank you for your candidacy and for working with us students and for being an inspiration.
Hey, thank you so much. I love what Xavier University is doing, and just to see also some changes that have taken place in the leadership of the university, just positive changes for the community. I am excited about the future of Xavier. It's a wonderful educating community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, bye.